What's going on, you guys? Today we are going to be removing one of the most annoying parts on this car, but first we need to take that roof off, so let's do that now. Okay, we've got the roof off, and the part that I am talking about today is this thing right here. These are little wind deflectors that pop up. Some people call them eyebrows, and the reason I want to remove them is because this one is actually broken. So normally it sits like that, and I can pull it back up like that, but as soon as you start driving, it just goes back down like that. I cannot figure out how to fix them. They're like these little spring-loaded things, and the little metal thing that kind of makes it spring-loaded on that side is broken. So just gonna go ahead and take it out. I learned from my buddy Mike Bolka that these are actually not really required. So in this video, we're gonna test out and see if you really need these or not. I read online that if you do drive without them, it's kind of loud and it makes a weird wind noise. So we'll test that out, see if that's the case, and hopefully this will help some of you decide if you're going to remove yours or keep them. So to remove these, it's really easy. There's just 3 Phillips head screws. I've already removed one of them, and let's go ahead and remove the other 2. And we've got one in the middle here. Okay, so they've been removed. It's super easy. Like I said, 3 screws, you just pull it out. Don't really need to show it. I am gonna show you a couple things on these when we get home in further detail, just so you know it. But this is what it looks like without it. In my opinion, just looks a lot cleaner. I do need to clean this out. It's a little dirty in here, and I think I'll throw those screws back in there. One other concern that I had was, will this seal up properly without it? Like, did it hold, or did it keep any water from getting in or anything? So we'll test that out as well. And let's go ahead and go for a drive and see if there's any extra wind noise. All right, well, we're going about 60 miles an hour, and there's really no noticeable difference. It's really windy, but that's normal. As you can see, my hair is going crazy, but I don't hear any loud wind circulation in the cabin or anything. So it really seems like those wind deflectors don't really do much, and that they're not necessary. The real question will be is, are there going to be any leaking issues like when washing the car and stuff? I do keep the car in the garage, so I never have to worry about it sitting out in the rain or anything, but I will test that out as well, and I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so I'm back home, and I wanted to show you some close-ups of this piece to show you why it's broken and why it can't be fixed. So let me turn on this light here so you can get a better view. Now, this is the one that's broken right here, so when it's completely pushed down, it doesn't pop back up. You can see this side is trying to pop up, and here's what it should look like. So the reason that this side is not working is because there's these 2 metal hooks inside of here. There's one that hooks onto the front. I know it's kind of blurry. You can see it. It's kind of rusty as well. And then there's a metal hook on the back right here. Those 2 hooks just kind of provide tension for this thing to spring back up. And if you look over here, this one is not in the little cutout that it's supposed to be in. You can actually bend it down and put it back into there. But the problem is the hook that goes onto the back of this is actually broken off. And when I removed this piece from the car, when I picked it up, the little metal hook was sitting underneath it. These little hooks just get rusty and brittle, and then they just break off. Also, I can't figure out how to take this thing apart. It's not like a screw or anything, and I don't want to risk breaking it more. Also, as you can see, the paint on this stuff is awful. It just chips away. As I've been holding it here, little pieces of paint just keep coming off. So it's just a stupid, bad design and just looks really bad. So I'm glad I've taken it off and don't really need it anymore. I'll throw it in the closet with all the other stuff that I can't bring myself to get rid of. Okay, so it's a couple days later, and since the last few clips that you saw, I put the roof back on, washed the car, and then we took it to that Pure Function Supra barbecue from my last video. And then since then, I've taken the roof off again, and I checked, and there were no issues with any kind of leaking or anything like that. So doesn't seem to be an issue. The eyebrows being removed didn't cause any extra noise. There's no leaking issues, so I really don't see any reason to keep them on there. I also went through and cleaned out this little area So it just looks a lot nicer. It was kind of dirty underneath the metal piece when I removed it, so it just looks really nice now. So if you have a target top Supra and you're like me and didn't like how those looked, or if you're like me and one of them's broken, I recommend just removing them. But I also recommend keeping them. Don't throw them away because you never know if you want to put them back on, or maybe if you sell your Supra down the road, you're going to want to have that to put back on there so the car is complete. And that part seems to be very difficult to find, and it's very expensive. So don't get rid of it, even if it's broken. I hope this video helped some of you if you were curious, and let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.